The converse of this theorem, first theorem, states that in equal circles or in the same circle, if this time if the arcs are equal, if you see in the first theorem, we had the angles equal and we concluded that the arcs are equal. But this time we have the arcs equal given. This is what is given to us. And this should be our conclusion. Okay. So what does it mean? Let's draw a figure and see two circles. Centers are say P and Q. And let's take two arcs AB and CD. Join the bounding radii. If it is given to you, these two arcs are equal. The length of this arc is equal to length of this arc. That is, length of this arc AB is equal to length of the arc CD. We're talking about, let's say, considering the minor arc first. Okay. Then our conclusion is that these two angles here, this angle here subtended by this arc and this angle here subtended by this arc, they must be equal. So we can conclude that angle APB must be equal to angle CQD. That is what this theorem means. Given the arcs are equal, we can say that the angles subtended at the center are equal. Just the converse of what we just did. If it is the same circle, then what happens? Let's say we have an arc AB here and we have an arc CD here. We join the bounding radii. Such that these two arcs are equal. If these two arcs are equal, then I can conclude that these two angles subtended at the center must be equal. These two angles are also equal when we're talking about the same circle. So given arc AB is equal to arc CD, my conclusion is that angle APB must be equal to angle CPD. This is my conclusion. Okay. So just the converse of what we just did. Next theorem is the statement of the theorem is that in equal circles or in the same circle, equal chords cut off equal arcs. In equal circles or in the same circle, equal chords cut off equal arcs. Okay. In equal circles, Equal chords cut off equal hour. What does it mean? Given that two chords of two equal circles, as I told you, what do you mean by equal circles? And remember the two theorem that I just discussed, not two, but one in fact, the theorem one and its converse. If there are two circles, then it will only hold if the circles are equal. And what do you mean by equal circles? The radii must be equal. According to this theorem, if we have two circles, let's say the centers are P and Q, and if I have a chord, say AB, and in this circle I have another chord, say CD, okay, such that these two chords are equal. If these two chords are equal, then I can conclude that these two arcs must also be equal. That is AB, this arc AB must be equal to this arc CD. Or you can also talk about the major arc also, that this major arc AB must be equal to this major arc CD. Okay, so given here, chord AB is equal to chord CD. Then we can conclude that arc AB, major or minor, must be equal to arc CD. That is what the theorem is. Now, what happens in the case of a same circle? In fact, the case for the same circle is actually the important one, because in problems, when you will come across problems, you will come across a single circle only. Two circles will not be given. So the same circle ones are the ones that are actually important for you. Let's see what happens in the case of a single circle. Let's take two chords, AB, this is one chord. Let's take another chord, CD,
CD.
such that these two are equal. These two are equal. Then we can say that the length of this arc, CD, must be equal to the length of this arc, AB. That is what this theorem means. So given chord AB is equal to chord CD, our conclusion is that these two arcs must be equal. Arc AB must be equal to arc CD. That is what it means for the same circle. You can talk about the major arc also in a similar manner. Okay. Let's see the converse of this theorem. Converse of theorem 2. The statement of the theorem is, in equal circles, or in the same circle, if two arcs are equal, if two arcs are equal, then their chords are equal. And their chords are equal. Now this is just the converse of this. In the last theorem, we had assumed that the chords are equal. That is, chord AB is equal to chord CD. This was our given, and we were concluding that the arcs are equal. This time is just the other way around. Okay, that is, it is given to you that the arcs are equal, and we will conclude that the chords are equal. So let's see in case of diagrams how it works out to be. Two equal circles, same radii, centers P and Q, and let's take two arcs AB, and here let's take two arcs. Let's take an arc CD in the other circle, and let's form a chord here. Given here that these two arcs are equal, that is, arc AB is equal to arc CD. Then we can conclude that chord AB must be equal to chord CD. That is what the theorem means, the converse of the theorem. Just the opposite of what we had just done. In case of a single circle, what does it mean? We've got two arcs AB and CD. Join the chords, and such that these two arcs are equal. Okay, these two arcs of the same circle, chord arc AB is equal to arc CD. So given arc AB is equal to arc CD, and our conclusion here is that chord AB must be equal to chord CD. Okay, that is what the converse of this means. Now, what is actually going to uh, actually going to we are going to actually going to make use are the deductions from these two theorems. First deduction, very important deduction, that equal chords of the same circle equal chords of the same circle or of equal circles subtend equal angles at the center, subtend equal angles at the center or centers, if in case of two circles, of the circle, or in case of two circles, use the plural circles. Now, what does it mean? Suppose we take the case of two circles first, two equal circles, and we take the centers of these two circles to be, say, P and Q. Okay. Now let's take two chords. Let's take a chord AB here on this circle, and let's take a chord CD here on this circle. These two are chords. Let's draw the bounding radii also. So it is given to you here that these two chords are equal in length. Given to you is that chord AB is equal to chord CD. What you can conclude is that these two angles here, this angle subtended by the chord at the center, these two angles, they must be equal. Now that seems obvious. Can you tell me why this seems obvious? How is deduction so obvious? After discussing theorem 1 and theorem 2, can anyone tell me why this deduction seems very obvious? Because, see, these two are equal chords. Equal chord means arcs are equal. That means this arc must be equal to this arc. You can take the major arc also, no problem. If these two arcs are equal, then equal arcs subtend equal angles at the center from theorem 1. That's it. So that's as obvious. So equal chords subtend equal angles at the center in case of two circles. In case of a single circle, same circle, the center is P, and if I take two chords AB and CD, and we join them, these two chords are such that they are equal, then we can say that these two angles are also equal in the same circle. So we'll write given chord AB equal to chord CD. My conclusion is that angle APB must be equal to angle CPD for the same circle. So given chords equal, the angle subtended at the center must be equal. Next deduction. Deduction number 2 is that in equal circles, in equal circles or in the same circle, equal angles at the center make equal chords. This is just the converse of this deduction actually. In this deduction, we took chord AB is equal to chord CD, and our conclusion was that the angles subtended at the center are equal. This time we are going to take the other way around. That is, we are going to take this as given, that the angles are equal, angles subtended at the center are equal, and we are going to conclude that the chords are equal. So let's see in case of two circles what happens. Two equal circles with centers P and Q. Two chords AB and CD. So here it is given to you that these two angles are equal. Then you can conclude that the length of the chords are equal. So given angle APB is equal to angle CQD. Our conclusion is that chord AB must be equal to chord CD for two different, two equal circles. For a same circle, if we take the center as P, let's say two chords AB, and let's take a chord here CD. If these two angles are given to be equal, angles subtended by these two chords are given to be equal, then we can conclude that these two chords are equal. Okay, so this covers your two theorems, the converses, and the deductions. We'll move on to problems now. The first question is, if the arcs APB and CQD of a circle are congruent. What do you mean by congruent arcs? Congruent arcs simply means that the arcs are equal. Okay, and they are talking about the same circle here. If the arcs APB and CQD of the same circle, of a circle means same circle, are congruent, find the ratio AB is to CD. Let's draw the figure and see what they are talking about. Say this is my center. Let's call the center O. Let's take an arc AB here. Let's take a point P here, anywhere on this arc. And you have an arc CD. And let's take a point Q here. That means now we have two arcs, arc APB and arc CQD. The question is, find the ratio of the AB is to CD. Okay. Now AB is to CD, what does it mean? Have they given the arc symbol? Have they said arcs, or have they said chords? Chord AB is equal to is to chord CD, or arc AB is to arc CD. Anyway, whether it is arc AB or whether it is chord CD or whether it is arcs, whatever they are talking about, this is something that is very obvious. So given to you here is that arc APB is equal to arc CQD, where P and Q are any points within the arc. Okay, that means if arc is APB is equal to arc CQD, then what can I say? Then from your theorem number one, theorem number two, that if the arcs are equal, then they must cut off equal chords, right? That means if arc APB is equal to arc CQD, this is just a one line question, then AB is to AB by CD, then AB must be equal to CD. Let's write this way. Therefore, AB is equal to CD. Maybe they are talking about the chord. Okay, so AB is equal to CD. That means what is AB by CD? AB by CD is 1. So what is the ratio? AB is to CD? 1 is to 1. That is what they mean. And why is this AB is equal to CD? Because of uh, this is because of converse of theorem 2. In the same circle, equal arcs in the same circle, equal arcs have equal chords. Have equal chords. That's it. It's just a two-line question. Let us look at question number 2. Let me just erase this. Question number 2. Question is, if A and B are points on a circle with center O and C is a point on a circle such that OC bisects angle AOB, prove that OC bisects the arc AB. Let's draw the figure. I'll solve it in the next class because there's no time left. A and B are points on a circle with center O. Let's take A and B in any 2 points on the circle. Center is O. C is a point on the circle such that OC bisects angle AOB. First, let us draw the bounding radii and see what angle AOB looks like. This is what angle AOB looks like. Okay, Vishnu, turn off your camera. Okay, so this is what angle AOB looks like. C is a point on the circle such that OC bisects angle AOB. That means C is a, let's take C as a point here, such that this line OC bisects angle AOB. That means if OC is the bisector of angle AOB, that means this angle must be equal to this angle. So it is given to you here that angle AOC is equal to angle COB. You need to show that OC bisects arc AB. That means this arc, if you consider AB, then C is a point here. That means this length of this arc must be equal to length of this arc. That is what the question is. You have to show that the length of this arc is equal to the length of this arc. So I'll finish this question tomorrow. Okay, I'll stop here for today.